Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. I have with me, as usual, my co-host, Mr. Abrar Aziz. How are you doing, sir?
Not too good considering my predictions are completely thrown out the window, but otherwise okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so lucky. I think I'm a genius, but at the same time, it's all luck. Like, I have to stay grounded. I didn't expect that, to be very honest with you. Like that Leon prediction, that was just completely.
Spot on though.
Yeah, like I gave you some nice facts and stuff. That's exactly what happened. But when I was giving you those facts, I didn't believe it. But it happened. Like,
You went with your gut and it worked out,
yeah,
man.
it was like, to be very honest with you, it was complete luck. Like because City, I felt like this was their year. Like, at least make it to the semis. Then you never know what happens. But I never thought that they would lose. Especially looking at the previous last 3 years, I didn't think they'd repeat the same mistake. But there you have it. Pep Guardiola does it again. Quarterfinal, knocked out. Fourth time in a row. But yeah, so we'll be reviewing all the quarterfinals. So let's start off with the first game, PSG. That was a crazy game against Atalanta. Like the result, like the last few minutes, everything just flipped over. But if after the first half, we saw the Atlanta players, they tired off a bit, and PSG were continuously pressuring, they succumbed. Atlanta succumbed at the end. So your thoughts on that game?
Absolutely. I think credit has to go out to Atlanta. They had an incredible game. They started off really strong. They kept PSG at bay. They had a good half. I just felt like they didn't have enough of the tank to go through. They were looked like a little bit lackluster towards the end, and the firepower in PSG team, kind of the stars, kind of came at, although very late in the day, but they came up and they rescued that team, and it's just a rescue mission. It was honestly at this point, it was. I feel so bad for Atlanta because they had a very, very good game, but the Stars delivered. I mean, they kind of backed their heavy paychecks at the end of the day, because both Mbappe and Neymar came up with an assist each, and stole the game pretty much the towards the end of the, like, literally at the 93rd minute, in the last minute of the game, Choupo-Moting scores that goal for that winner, and hats off to Atalanta, but PSG did what they needed to do, and they secured the win at the end of the day. So well done to them as well.
And like at one stage, you probably thought it's not PSG's day. They missed so many chances, especially Neymar. Like your thoughts on him? I personally believe like he's an amazing player. He showed moments of brilliance, but there's no finishing, man. Like there's some chances he should have. If that was Ronaldo or Messi, that's a confirmed goal. So like, what is your judgment about Neymar? And like, do you feel that he needs to pull it up when it comes to the big games? Like, I mean, he did deliver the assist, but that could have gone haywire. Like if they lost that game, then he would get all the criticism in the world.
100%.
And he's not, and he's a brilliant player, to be honest. When I watched him, I find him world class.
I agree with you 100%. Like just that one moment in where he did that, when he went to the players like in the middle and kind of went past 2 or 3 players and almost finished. If you remember, I don't remember exactly what the time.
Yeah. In the first half, yeah.
Yeah, that first half run, and he can produce those kind of incredible results, right? I mean, those kind of incredible plays. But at the same time, one-on-one with the goalkeeper in the beginning, towards like the first 5 minutes something, and he just
that was a simple finish.
I mean, anybody at that professional level should be finishing that. Any kind of attacker should be finishing that kind of it. So it's just, so Neymar, in my opinion, like you said, is a great talent, right? He's an incredible talent, but he's just at the same time so frustrating, right? It's just so difficult to kind of gauge and kind of understand what's going on in his head at sometimes. It's a very, very good player, but I just don't know what happens to him, and it's a tricky one to kind of analyze. Also, I have no doubt in my mind that he is an incredible talent, like you said. But I just don't know what goes on, and in those moments where he has to really finish, I think he has to work hard. Maybe, I don't know, it's a little bit harsh, but I think he has to put some effort in the training ground, like, try and continuously try and make some shots, do something on his finishing. He has to improve that aspect of his.
I think that's a problem. Yeah. Sorry.
If he wants to be counted as a true great, he has to finish more goals.
Because I think that is the main issue. Finishing, he needs to improve that last part of his game. Because if you looked at the whole game, you probably have the same thoughts. Like he got into crazy positions. Even those chances he missed, he got himself into those positions. That assist was amazing. His skill is no doubt unbelievable. But then there's like that end product was missing, and that's what you need. Your big players, your main player, you want them to deliver at the big stage. You see Ronaldo done it over the years. You've seen Messi do it over the years. I'm not comparing him with them, but but that's him. He's the star of PSG. You want him to show up in that game, especially with Mbappe on the bench.
100%. I think if he could have scored a couple of those chances in the first half, that pressure that they were in towards the end of the game would have not been there. And that was you don't need that as a big team. You want to finish off the games as early as possible, and like you want to just relax towards the end of the game and just close it out, sort of. But here they were like all guns blazing. It could have gone either way, Like if like something goes wrong on the counter, Atalanta scores another one, it's over, game over for them. So they like I said, it just went on for too long, and they got lucky in the 93rd minute with that Choupo-Moting finish. But they if you would ask them again, they would have wanted to finish it off earlier than that for sure. Those nerves are not worth it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, and it's very risky, right? Like if you hit the post instead of scoring, it would have been completely different like story. But yeah, I think at the end PSG deserved it because they dominated the game. But shout out to Atlanta. I think they had a magnificent Champions League run. I think it was their debut season. Yeah, brilliant run for them. Unlucky, I think. They were dominated in the second half, but they could have easily still got away with it. Yeah, moving on to the Atletico Leipzig game. That was a kind of surprise for me. Without Werner, Leipzig winning the game 2-1. They played better, I think. They played better than Atletico. And I was very surprised. I didn't think that Atletico defense would have been broken.
Absolutely. I mean, incredible. Of course, they got a little lucky with that winner over there again towards the end of the game with that kind of mean diversion. But I mean, I'm a fan of this Leipzig team, right? They're such a good team. They're a well run organization. They have all these players that they bring in. They kind of really nurture them and make them world class players, and then sell them for high prices to the likes of Chelsea and them who are paying that big money to buy these players like Werner and stuff like that, right? Well done to them. They were at it. They were really strong. They started the game well. They finished it well. They got a little lucky towards the end but they were the more likely team to score the goal anyway.
Yeah. The first half they dominated it, especially. They were the better team.
Yeah, they were the better team in the first half. They were strong. They were dominant, and they finished it out well. Just unlike Atalanta, who failed towards the end, I think Leipzig did finish that game off well. They scored the winner again towards the end of, I think it was 87th, 88th minute, but they went out to win it, and I think they really beat out one of the top contenders of the 8 teams, in my opinion, that Atletico and Barcelona. Well, of course, they're out as well, but those were my teams, and that's it. I mean, Atletico is out.
Yeah.
This is kind of PSG and Leipzig. These are teams now. It's really open for PSG to win it, but you never know with the way these results have gone.
Yeah, and just to show that it's like predictions, like you need a lot of luck. I said Atletico will win the Champions League during the predictions, because I thought it's like they have that perfect counter-attacking team and they can beat like someone who's attacking them. But then Leipzig, I think, did something what Atletico not comfortable with. They made Atletico chase the game. They made them attack. And they hit them on the counter. So it was like a taste of their own medicine, kind of, especially in the second half. So yeah, that was surprising. And just a last note on that game, I'm not going to ask you why he moved, but I'm going to ask you, why did he move so before the Champions League finished? I'm talking about Mr. Werner.
I don't know. I mean, he must be kicking himself right now, but he has a good chance, because I think Leipzig is a very, very good team right now. Of course, there's Bayern.
I understand money's a factor. He's going to move, but why not finish the season? Like, they could have actually, especially, who would have thought, man? And they're playing well. It's not like they were down and out before the draw happened. Like, they had a chance against Atletico.
He's going to really feel bad if actually Leipzig goes on and wins the Champions League. Imagine he won't get the medal, so it's going to be really, really sad for him. Yeah. But I honestly don't know what the thought process was behind it, but whatever it was, he's probably kicking himself right now. Because to be a part of a very good win and going to be a semi-finals of the Champions League is a big deal. And it's not like Chelsea is competing for anything which he's participating in anyway, right? He could have easily played some competitive football, gone on for a couple of weeks holiday, and then joined the Chelsea team towards the end of August or something like that. It would have been perfect, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Chelsea had something to do with it. They probably wanted to come back early and kind of train with the known folks who kind of get accustomed.
Yeah, strange, but he didn't play the FA Cup final or the Champions League fixture, so it was very strange. But yeah, we never know what's going on in the background. And then moving on to the most surprising score line of the whole round, nobody expected that. Oh my God, man! 8-2. Bye-bye Messi. I mean, it was sad to see Barcelona. Barcelona is a team who dominated during my school, college time, especially in high school. I remember I used to see Barca win every game, every league, everything. And now just to see them get hammered like that, even I know the defense is weak. I knew that they'll concede goals, but I didn't expect that 8-2. Like, your thoughts on that game?
It's really hard to really bring out like my thoughts on this game. I mean, I had Barcelona to win this game. I like you said. I mean, I understand the defense is weak, right? But I expected more from their attack. But I just felt like they completely lost its team.
And to be honest, after they equalized, they actually were the better team for 10 minutes.
Yeah, they looked a little better, and even in the second half when they scored that second goal, when they were down 4-1, but they came back and scored that second goal when Suarez nicely made that finish.
Yeah.
They did look a little bit like a little bit of a threat for about 5-10 minutes, and then suddenly, like, the wheels just came off. I don't know what happened. It just feels like an end of an era, right? I mean,
but with 11 men conceding 8 goals with 11 men.
I just don't understand. I just really don't know what happened. It's hard to kind of pinpoint on what really happened. Bayern were dominant, no doubt about that. But this is literally the same team that has been playing for the past 3-4 years. Not too much of a difference. It just literally the wheels came off, and I mean, I'm not saying that Barcelona didn't have their issues. They've been having these issues for 2 or 3 years now, and they haven't. Their scouting, the way the team is managed, everything is horrendous. They need a complete makeover. They need, of course, their manager is definitely going to be sacked. I'm pretty sure about that. But they need a completely revamp this team. It's been going on for 2 or 3 years. They spend hundreds of dollars on Coutinho and then send him to loan to Bayern, who really beat them that hard. And they're not working on their defense. I mean, it's just all over the place. They didn't look like a team that it just looked like men versus boys, honestly. And this is a team that has the great likes of Messi, Suarez, PK, and Ter Stegen. All these guys are Busquets. These are all very, very good name players. I mean, it's not like these played a B Barcelona team or anything. I mean, a lot of questions need to be raised and a lot of criticism needs to be going on, and this team needs a complete revamp.
I mean, like, to be honest with you, I had Bayern to win this game. I thought they would win it like maybe 3-1 max 4-1. But I never thought this would be the scoreline, especially with there's no red card or anything like that. And it also goes to show, Madrid also, like, they're also on that downward spiral, like after Ronaldo left and stuff. But they still, I wouldn't say left with respect, but they at least competed against City, right? There was a game going on against City. City dominated them, everything, but that scoreline suggested that Madrid were there at halftime. They were still in the leg. You expect that from a team.
Also, Varane's mistakes as well. You remember those two big mistakes? There was nothing really mistake here. This was just like they just were completely out of sorts.
It just felt like you said, like a high school team playing. I don't know what that was. That's completely shocking. And your thoughts on Bayern, to be very honest with you, I mean, a lot of people are saying this is like one of the best Bayern teams, but I still feel that they have defensive issues, which Barcelona exploited for 2 minutes. But do you think they have what it takes in them? Because that was an outstanding performance. At the end, if you look at it, there's no. But if you just want to really pinpoint, that defense is not the most stable defense.
I agree. I think that you're right about that. I mean, moving forward, dominant, absolutely dominant. The likes of Lewandowski.
And clinical,
100% clinical. The Muller, Lewandowski, Gnabry, all these guys are just so dominant and clinical up front. And Muller, just have to shout out for him. He had an incredible game. The 2 goals, the assist. I mean, even Coutinho in the end came out and did the same thing, but that guy was just something else. I mean, he was very, very dominant. But you're right. There is a defensive issue that could be exploited by a better run team. Like maybe, for example, Leipzig could really use that to their advantage. They set up very well, and they can beat this kind of Bayern team with those kind of issues that they have defensively. Because Leipzig can do exactly what they did against Atletico and beat this Bayern team. I think, in my honest opinion. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But Bayern, if all they have to do is if the other team scores 3, they have to score 4, and they haven't in them to do that. That's
But the thing is also, now the teams which are involved, suppose it's a Bayern PSG final. I'm not counting out the other teams, but I'm just saying one thing which works in Bayern's favor is that PSG's defense is not the greatest either. So they will score goals. So I think that's what probably tips the favor in their side. But Yeah, that was an incredible performance. And what you're saying about Muller, recently I noticed he changed his game a bit. He was assisting more. Before, like when we first saw him burst on the scene, he was scoring goals and everything. But it was nice to see him back in the goals and everything and getting into the positions. I think that was a
Yeah,
good performance.
good performance by him. I think he was my man of the match for that game.
Yeah, for sure. And now my favorite game of the whole round, Manchester City versus Lyon, Pep Guardiola. I mean, who would have thought, like, this City team who wanted to win the Champions League so badly and who had the team, had the squad. Yes, there was no Aguero to start, but your thoughts on this game?
I mean, you hit the nail on the coffin, right? I mean, it's just perfectly the way you summarized it. Pep Guardiola is he went for it too strong again. I mean, he didn't wait for the game like he didn't set this team up to kind of just calm down a little bit, especially when they were trying to chase the game again. It's there's just you're right about this tactical issues that he's had, and he's not willing to fix them. This is a Lyon team that's played. This is their second competitive game in 5 months. There's no excuses anymore for Guardiola. This was a game that they should have won. They had no excuses, and there should be a lot of criticism towards the City team to have lost this game. They were the better team. They have the better players. They spend the more money. They are the more team expected to win. I mean, hats off to Lyon. They did a very, very good game. People wrote them off. People wrote off the French league as a farmers league, and these guys are two of French teams in the final
Who would have
four.
thought?
Right?
Who would have thought?
Like credit to this team. I mean, PSG, everyone expected they were expecting them to be there in that because of the money and the players that they have. But this Lyon team, a lot of credit should go to them. They worked hard. Again, a good team, well coached team, and they look like the part.
And they beat Juventus and City, both favorites in the bag.
Absolutely, I think they've done a very, very good job, and a lot of credit should go to them.
Yeah, and like if you're looking at Twitter and like you yourself, if you're watching the game, I thought the same thing. I'm watching Kevin De Bruyne. I'm like, this guy's like the best player in the world right now. Like, during the game, I'm not talking about like before his past. I'm talking during the game. Wow, this guy's world class. Then he goes on to score as well. But what happens when under pressure? Like someone like Raheem Sterling. I know Guardiola improved his game and everything, but then he missed chances, some very easy chances. And for me, I think tactically, like you were saying, I think he over attacks. He needs to, in these kind of knockout games, especially in the Champions League, with the team he has, needs to settle a bit, especially against a weaker opposition. If he's playing somebody like a Bayern, I understand that you're hitting them hard and everything, but against like somebody who's going to hit you on the counter, just relax a bit and then go slowly into the game. But he's going attack from game. We saw the same problem against Tottenham last year. They got the goal, but then they kept attacking. They got hit on the counter. And again today, they conceded first this time, 1-1, and then they over-attacked again, and then they got hit. Unbelievable. Your thoughts on Sterling?
I mean, again, he's like similar to how it's explained in Neymar, right? He has these incredible moments where he's like finishing everything, and then he has so many frustrating moments as well. Like it's hard to pinpoint what exactly goes on in his head as well. I mean, it's just.
I feel kind of bad, like because like he's a good player. He's a good
player. But I feel like a lot of criticism comes on him, and sometimes rightly so. For example, today's game, he missed a few chances that he should have really finished, and those misses need to be criticized. If you're going to be like, you're one of the most prime attackers in this Manchester City team, you've been scoring a lot of goals, and you're expected to finish those in high pressure situations. And if you're not able to, then there's going to be criticism towards you. It's unfortunate. But what are you going to do? I mean, he is a better player than he was. He improved every game. He works hard. But at the end of the day, these are the moments that will really define you. And it's unfortunate that he didn't step up today. He couldn't finish. He wasn't clinical enough.
Yeah. And thoughts on City's defense? Like they invested heavily, especially in their fullbacks. Guardiola's game revolves around the fullbacks, and like they did an amazing job in the last couple of years in the Premier League. But we've seen in the Champions League, and even in the Premier League this year, they've conceded goals despite dominating the game, despite having possession. I think first half today, they had like 70% possession for majority of the first half. So like your thoughts on that defense, and like, did you expect them to leak goals like that? Like to be honest, I there was always a threat. I think I always, at the back of my mind, I thought they will concede a goal here and there, but like 3 goals against Lyon, it's a bit too much.
there are cracks in this defensive issue. There is defensive issues in this team, no doubt about that. I mean, and today it was exploited pretty well. Uh, does it come down to individual errors, or does it come down to a little bit more of the tactical ways that they're set up? That's something that I mean, in my opinion, Kyle Walker had a shocker of a game today. He had a terrible game today. But a lot of this has to do with like how Pep Guardiola is coaching this team as well, right? They some in some instances in today's game they just looked out of sorts. They just didn't know they
Is
didn't
it
have.
a case of burnout because his style demands so much energy?
Maybe it is, and a lot of energy is being the Premier League was a brutal fixture list for the past. They almost played every 3 days, every 4 days. They had one game going on. It could be a little bit of the burnout. They did look. They definitely look exhausted today, and it showed in some instances today. They just looked a little bit messed up. And with due respect to this very strong team in general, but there is a way to beat City, and now everyone knows it, and that's what everyone is expecting. I mean, there is this. You play exactly like how Lyon played today, and you have every chance of beating the City team. Similar to what happened when Arsenal beat them as well. Like it's very similar. You just kind of sit back, wait for them to keep trying, and then you just beat them on your counter. And that's happened a lot of times to City. It's happened last year with Liverpool. Liverpool has done this. Although
Yeah,
Liverpool
and then last year Spurs did it. Yeah.
Liverpool did it. Arsenal did it in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Again, now Lyon did
But
it.
now it's happening more frequently this season. Maybe because the defense is not as solid, like especially the centre backs.
Correct. I agree 100%. There is issues that need to be sorted, and Pep Guardiola needs to look at this very, very seriously. If he wants to,
Do you think he will, or he'll go to Juventus?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves. To be honest, it's his way of doing things. He stays there one place 3-4 years, and he wants to move on. That's kind of how he has been. I honestly think that he'll stay around if he really think if he now knows people are questioning him. Right?
Yeah,
So,
and fair enough. Like to be honest with you, like I've been a big criticizer, a big critic of Guardiola, especially like in the Champions League. But fair enough. Like in the press conference, he's very humble. Like when they told him, like you won under you. There's a lot of criticism about you winning because of Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta, and you haven't done it with City and Bayern. He's like, I agree 100%. Like that I told you at that time as well. It was that team. So he admits it. He knows what's going on, but at the same time, deep down inside, he probably wants to prove them wrong as well, right? Like
exactly what I think he will be there for. I mean, he's like with due respect to him, I think he really wants to prove this team wrong. I just feel like he's not done
wants
yet.
to, yeah, especially me, probably wants to prove me wrong. But yeah, I think like to be honest with you, this was unacceptable from City. Like if this was any other team, like United or Real Madrid, they get double the criticism because they have a bigger fan base and everything. But with the money they've spent and the team they were playing against, and I just don't feel it was acceptable. I thought they'd be one of the favorites. If they lost to Bayern, fair enough. I would still mess around and with the banter and everything, but fair enough. But like this was, I don't think it's acceptable, and Guardiola probably will know that.
Yeah, 100%. And just a moment of how the Champions League can be really, especially with the two legs and this very different circumstances right now. Three out of the four teams that we expected to win, at least I expected to win, didn't win, right? I expected Atletico to go through, they didn't. I expected Barca to go, they didn't. I mean, of course, Barca and Bayern both.
Fair enough. Yeah, like I mean,
the scoreline with which they went out, right? That's the problem. And then I expected City to go through, and they did not.
Yeah.
And even PSG had a little bit of a hard in their mouth kind of moment over there. They just won in the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
So this is a magic of Champions League, of course, and the fact that no two legs and stuff like that.
You like the single legs? I know the two legs have to happen after because of the fans and the stay home and away. Like it has to happen. But I kind of enjoyed this single leg kind of thing, especially as a neutral. Like it's
all four games were exciting. Like there was end-to-end football. There was just a lot of excitement, a lot of drama in the games and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a one-off. It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna go back to the normal.
Of course, yeah, it'll have to because of the fans and like to make it fair.
Yeah, it was fun though to watch it, at least. Once in a lifetime kind of situation though.
Yeah, definitely. And just to wrap things up, your player of this round, I know it's a bit difficult, but like just one player that you impressed you the most this round, and the shock, because there's two shocks, but like your shock of the round.
The shock has to be the Bayern game, Bayern Barca. Irrespective, I mean, Bayern, even though Bayern would have won, I wouldn't be surprised, but the way they won this game.
I think 8 goals is too much. Yeah.
Man, I mean, come on.
I have to say Bayern Barca because I predicted Lyon to win. But to be very honest, that was a big shock as well. Like, but yeah, I think that the scoreline tips it in Bayern's favor. Like that game tips, like is probably the most.
It's very, very hard to pick a single player out of so many players that played. But like I said, I just thought Muller had a very, very good.
Yeah, fair
Game.
enough.
I just give it to him because with due respect to every other player also, there's a lot of good players that played, but
Yeah,
Muller.
for me it's Moussa Dembele by far.
Yeah,
Yeah, by far. I picked Depay. I predicted Depay just for that United connection, but Dembele, he was my guy.
Yeah, he showed it very well. I mean, great performance, and then just went on to win this game for them. So
yeah, I mean, like it's all set up for exciting semi-finals. It might be one-sided, but then again, like you said, in the one legs, you never know. Now you can't predict anything. Like it should be a Bayern PSG, but I'm not going to say should anymore because Leipzig and Lyon have played brilliantly so far, and they've got some massive scalps. So I think
in the last review, you made some gutsy decisions and it went in your favor. I'm going to throw gutsy one. I'm going to say Leipzig to win the Champions League.
Oh wow, that would be amazing. Like I mean, for me as well. Like I actually feel Lyon has it. But the thing is, Bayern Munich. Like again, like it's difficult. But like just because what they've done against City and Juventus, they've impressed me a lot. Like and they've been like they didn't have possession today, but it's 3-1. Look at the scored line, like
It doesn't matter if you have 90% possession.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be very difficult to predict, but yeah, it'll be exciting either way. It'll be a lot of fun. So I'll see you for those games. But thank you so much for coming on, and see you soon. Take care.